All right, good morning. Happy March 1st. Happy Friday. Can't believe we're already starting our third month of the year. It's flying by. The voice is doing much better today, so should be a less painful day to listen to. I'm on early today because I want to go through some back testing on oil. And I figured maybe I would do that before the market kind of gets going this morning rather than doing something separate. Real quick, I want to look at CL, or not CL, at NQ just to see where we're at in the grand scheme of things. All right, so maybe I'll go through my analysis real quick. I'll go through my analysis real quick on NQ before I move over to CL and do some sort of back testing, checking on some things. Let's get rid of all the lines, all the lines. Wow, big drop this morning. All right, let's get over here and look at the daily. Obviously, big push up yesterday. And then it looked like last night we created a new high. That's kind of interesting. Let's get rid of these for now. Yeah, so yesterday, either last night or this morning, we created new highs up here. So if you remember yesterday, I said that. Let's look at this. Let's just go 90 days. Yeah, so yesterday I said, maybe we want to dig down into here before we go higher, which is what I think I said I would prefer to have seen. Now, the people who are a lot smarter than me, though, they anticipated that we would come back up to this level yesterday. And many of them were in long even from the close of the night before. They were very confident that we were going to head back up there. So that's what happened. So we pushed up. As soon as we broke through that high, though, we pulled back down, and now we're retracing a little bit back up into this tiny fair value gap. Maybe, not quite. So we'll see if this one holds. If it, or if we create a new fair value gap here, and then violating it on the way back up would be a bullish sign. Otherwise, I don't know. We kind of hit this objective here, so I'm not sure. Hopefully we don't just consolidate after that big push up yesterday. Let's look at that hourly. Okay. So this would be the level I would watch on the hourly right here, because if we invert this, then it's a good sign that we're going higher. Since we dipped down in here, we took out this low, we took out this low, and then pulled back up. If this holds, then, we're probably coming down to here or here. Because we didn't retrace too far after this huge push. I mean, not very far at all. Before we ripped back higher. It's a very strong market still overall. And finally, the 15-minute. Okay. So let's pull this up here. So I think intermediate or internal liquidity targets would be put one there, put one here. Then obviously if the bottom just falls out, we'd be headed down here, but that seems lower probability to me. Unless we hold this, in which case we may come back down. So I'm gonna so we're holding the midpoint of this fair value gap right now on the 15-minute, which correlates with the hourly. You know, it's about the same gap, give or take. The target's higher, you know, obviously quite a bit higher. So this will be interesting. I mean, I'd be surprised if we go retake these levels, but we could. We'll see what happens. All right. So on the 15-minute, we retraced. This is hard to see because the lines all overlap. Here, let's make it bigger. Let's move this out of the way for now. So after this big push, we retraced up to kind of the OTE level and then just shy of it. And that's where we turned around. So, I mean, honestly, right now I'm bearish, but I think I'm bearish unless we break this 15-minute gap up. Right, in which case I think it's pretty clear we're likely to reach higher. Okay. Uh, 7:25. What news do we have today? Do we have news? A Fed speaker this morning, so that doesn't mean anything. We got PMI, ISM Manufacturing Index. So we got news at 9:45 and 10. Something to keep our eye on. It's a little ways away. Let's see. All right, so London range, let's look at where we've been. So the bad news is Asia kind of expanded up. Had quite a range actually for Asia. And then so did London. Well, London, I guess, kind of consolidated and then expanded after kind of at the end of the session. And now we're trickling our way back up here. So we'll wait and see. I mean, this kind of seems like engineered liquidity right here, doesn't it? Got these series of higher lows. Big drop. Choppy, 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 headed up. Yeah, this just seems bullish to me, right? Or not bullish, sorry, bearish. The bulls and the bears keep getting mixed up in my head. Channeling up, wait for this to break so that we can take out all this liquidity below and retake this low. That's what I would anticipate. The question is, what high has to be taken out before we drop? If there is one. Would this have worked as a red line trade? Technically, we had a cross, first test, second test. I don't know if it's moving very far. Okay. All right, well, that's that. I'm just going to let that go for a minute. So I'm going to be watching this 15-minute. I'm bearish at the moment. If this pushes up through this 15-minute fair value gap, then we'd change to be bullish. I would change to be bullish. But right now I'm looking for a reason to short. So we'll see. All right, let's shift over to oil. Boom. Oil. All right. Now here's the thing with oil that I wanted to look at. So yesterday I said when we were up here, once we drop below the midline of the opening range, we're probably going to reach down to the overnight open, which we did. Okay. The thing that I found interesting, though, and this isn't really a surprise, but this isn't something I've played before, is the rejection off the overnight open. Now, this rejection was very, it wasn't like a super hard rejection. The first couple candles were. They just kind of took off, but after that, we kind of just meandered on up. But we went up a long ways. Right? That has been 100 ticks. All the way through the open range. And I don't think we got any kind of a meaningful measured move above. We hit the 50%. Just a tick shy or so, or maybe exactly that 50% of the opening range. But it was a big opening range, I think. 66 ticks. That's quite large. So what I wanted to look at was if we were to use our inversion fair value gaps off of overnight opens. does that give us good entry? Now, one of the things I've noticed when I was just playing around with this a little bit yesterday is that they do tend to get violated a little bit, right? So in this case, the fair value gap created on the way down is right here. Okay, we violate it here, but then we come back down below it here before we push up. But within the context of the rejection, we had overnight open, we had a London, was this a London midline right here? We have our opening range, and we have choppy oil. So I don't think this would have been a reason to stop out if we were using this logic. But we would be in, it'd put you in a position where you were in drawdown unless you waited for it to come all the way back down. But what I really wanted to see is how do we react to the overnight open when we hit it, right? So in this case, the overnight open is close to the open range. It gets tested. We get 100 point, or at 1 point, I guess, 100 tick rejection. So I just kind of wanted to go back in time and see what happens. Now in this case, the overnight open's way below. But once we break out of the open range, we come back down, we cross, we get a couple tests. Where do we reach for? We reach for the overnight open. No rejection off of here, right? So there's no reason to go long. You don't get, there's no rejection candle set up right here like you get yesterday, right? So yesterday we had this candle formation, which is generally rejection, right? This is a reversal pattern. Down close candle, then we have a candle that reaches way below and then closes, towards the top. So basically a green candle. That's a nice rejection pattern. So that would be something to look for, I think. That's kind of the purpose of this, is just to see what has happened. Did I go too far? Yeah, I went too far. So no rejection here, but it was a magnet. So we get the nice gold line test and then a magnet down. And this one was 58. So it was pretty far away. 50 ticks from the bottom of our range. And we drew to it. So I think that's worth noting. Okay, let's go the day before. Oh, I guess I should look. Do we have... Yeah, so we got no reversal candle patterns. We have no inverted fair value gaps. Right, the fair value gap formed when we broke it, was supported, and then we dropped further. Now when it did eventually inverse over here, then it went up, not a lot, but it did move. Even though really I think you would be taking more of this one down here at this point. So we created this fair value gap here. When we swept the London high, or the London midline. These London midlines seem to hold. We came back up, we retested, and then rejected. So if you were to take this break based on the reversal, your target would have been, I guess your first target would be this, the top wick of this candle. So what is that? Trying to get a sense of what the kind of risk reward So 15 ticks. I mean, the next target normally would be, first one would be here, the second one would be here. We do have the overnight open in the way, so that would be a reasonable spot, and that's 25 ticks. That's, you know, that's a good win right there. Okay. Let's move back. All right, this day did not, what day is this? 27th. This one did not come back to the overnight open. But it kind of seems like once this red line, I mean, you know, if we use the red line as a guide, we're definitely long here, right? So we never kind of turn around until here, where we do get a cross, and this could trick you into taking a short right here, which would have failed. It's pretty late in the day though. And it only failed. It failed here and then worked out over here, but eventually pushed up. But in this case, we did not come back to the overnight open, so there's really no play here. We didn't really take any levels, right? We took this level right here. Was there an inversion? There was an inversion here, but it's going right into our line. And this was a beautiful gold line play right here, which I think we took this one, if I remember right. So taking the reversal into our lines would have failed right here. What time is it? 7:38. All right, let's go back another day. I don't know, maybe this weekend I'm going to have to go through this and actually kind of document sort of the results here. Okay, here we have red line and gold line stacked for a long. The overnight opens just right in the middle. But you can see once we come below it, we retest above it, we retest it, which is also a retest of our gold line. So you've got red line, gold line, overnight open. Everything right here is telling you to go long. I don't remember. We probably did not. I don't remember taking this one. And then this one just rips. All day long. We just trail on up. Till about noon. I've noticed that noon my time, noon central, so that'd be 1 Eastern, is about, if we get on a run, that's about where it peaks out. We hit there and then start to trail off the other direction. So this one was messy because we have everything kind of jumbled up in the way. But we got a London high. We've got our lines stacked. We've got a false breakout with a return inside the range, retest, rocket out the other side, and continue higher. So no inversion here. Well, the inversion would be here, right? You would take, so here was our low, boom. We took out the low here. Even though we're below our red line, our gold line is still up there. So, so our bias is still long. So if you're really gutsy and took this inversion, so it would have been a great early entry to this. And again, we've got a nice reversal pattern, candle pattern supporting us, giving us extra confirmation, I think. And then rockets up. So, geez. I mean, that's the thing I'm noticing with oil. It gets, you know, 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 days a week. You get these days where it just kind of goes. And if you got one of those a week, you'd be fine, right? Of course, I would get chopped out here, right? I would get in here, get chopped out here, and then miss out on all of it. But that's kind of why I wanted to look at this, because the overnight open seems to be a signal for pretty nice runs if we get a setup at the overnight open, or a nice reversal from the overnight open. So just looking back at price signatures at that level to see if we get any clues. All right, this day we've got overnight open way above us. We're very short. I mean, we did have a cross here. Let's see, what do we see? I mean, ultimately, this pushes up here. It fails to break above here, right? So we took out these two levels here, these kind of equal highs. With this push up, and then it fails. Foop, and then we drop, right? This one I probably wouldn't take just because our lines have crossed up. But, you know, what would we be looking for? Yeah. Yeah, this one would be tricky because you'd be taking the trade counter to, you know, we're looking at our red line and our gold line as a guide. That would be, you know, right here we're kind of in no man's land. Red line's flat. But we do have a push down, a retest up to the mid range after the open range is formed, and then we drop lower. So I don't really see this. This would be a good inversion. But again, it's an inversion going the wrong way relative to our lines. So I guess the question is, what's stronger? A sweep of liquidity or an average line? Well, I think probably a sweep of liquidities. A little bit of a better indicator. All right, what do we got going on over here? We better jump back over to... Let's jump back over to NQ. All right, so we're getting our drop here. Okay, so we took out this low here. Actually, we took out that low there and that low there. So we took out these three lows. We're holding this for a value gap, but if it fails, we could push back up a little bit. Not much, though. And I don't have my trade copier set up. So I think we're going to go up here. I should probably get my trade copier set up, right? I do not have one open, I don't think. Nope. I did update my trade copier. So I don't know if that means anything. Should, I suppose. Yeah, I think we could get a quick 5 points off of that one if we were in it. I'm bearish though, so I don't know that I wouldn't hold this one. There it goes. So if we had bought in the little bit of a pullback here, that would have been an easy 5 points, 6 points, just to start the day off. That would have been nice, but it's good to see it play out like that. All right, so now we have, this is good. This is good. Unless this is a false swing low and then we're going to return higher. That could be. Could be. So let's see what this does. From here to here. Another 20 points. That'd be the next target up. Let me put this back down here. I mean, this is a pretty textbook inversion right here. We touched our liquidity level. We came up. We shot down. Took it out. And now we're pulling back up. So I guess the textbook way to do this would be once price gets to this high right here, you'd move your stop to break even. And then we'd be looking at this target up here. So if this pulls back up, this means my bias is wrong, which would be fine. Also, it remembers the leader account. That'd be good. That's always a problem when I turn it off and turn it back on, and then the trade copier comes up. There's nothing in the leader account. And then if you go select your leader account, it like somehow doubles it up, and I almost blew a bunch of accounts doing that one time. So I got in the habit of just shutting the thing down and just restarting it all the time. So that'll be interesting to see if they got that fixed. That would be good. And a sound to let us know when they're desynced. Yeah, that'd be nice too, because that did happen to me the other day. And I don't even know why they unsynced, but they did. And then I was in a trade and it was only the one account. And oh well. Trade copying is a weird, touchy thing. Kind of got to be on your toes with it. Man, now I'm wishing I had taken this inversion. This is turning out to be really nice. What, Tanya's giving away 6 accounts today? Man, she is the darling of the prop fund world right now. Everybody loves her because her stream grew so fast. Within like 2 months, it grew from, I think she had, I don't know, a couple thousand subscribers. When I first was watching her, she was, I think she was trying to cross 5,000, I think was the number. And now she's at like 30 some odd thousand. And she's got like thousands of people that watch her stream. And My Funded Futures is giving her accounts to give away. And Apex is giving her accounts to give away. And I think she had a rough day yesterday, but overall, she's pretty good. If this ever got to the point where 5,000 people were watching me, I would probably quit because it's not really what I want. And that would be too much pressure. I don't want that pressure. All right. Rolling over. Or are we retesting? I don't know. Got to be careful. My new rule is 2 losses. If I get 2 losses, I'm done in the accounts that took the losses, right? It's a 5-point candle, so that's not too bad. We get rid of these nonsensical lines. Gold line trades have bit me in NQ a lot, so I'm not super confident in them. Just curious what other. All right, so there is a. See, there's a 3-minute fair value gap here. The problem is we didn't take out any liquidity in the creation of this gap. And obviously the lines don't mean anything on the 3-minute chart. Or at least not the same things. That's kind of interesting when you look at the 5-minute. So we have the overnight open here, which I don't have on the 1-minute chart. But it corresponds with this line here. We pushed up, inverting this 5-minute fair value gap. So if we were bullish, this would be a good sign. And we would want this to hold, obviously. If it fails, then maybe not as bullish as we thought it was. I'm going to change this to be a different color so I know it's a. I know this is a gap from a different time frame. All right, well, it looks like 5 minutes going to totally disrespect this thing. All right, 3-minute. Now we still have 2 minutes for this thing to finish forming. Huh. By then we're probably just going to fail all the way down. 10-point gap. Gonna add my SMA back to my 15-minute chart with my other stuff. I'm curious. love to see it pull back up into here. All right. So do we get a close below on the 3-minute? Doesn't look like we will. No close below on the 3-minute. So like this cap that we originally inversed is still holding. Definitely some wedging action going on. All right, we got the open on the oil open. It's happening as we speak. Let's go look at that. I put this orange line here. This orange line is the high from like 3 days ago. Right here. Give or take. It's kind of the highest we've been in a long time. I'm kind of curious to see what happens here if we continue to move up there or if we kind of fell and pull back down. I mean, ultimately, we've been in an uptrend, sort of, but it's been a very choppy uptrend. So, I mean, every time we push up, we pull back. So I'm kind of, that's kind of what's going on in the back of my mind there, is to think that, you know, at some point we're going to pull back. But right now it seems very strongly bullish. So we'll see what the open range brings us. We're way above the overnight open. I don't expect that'll be any kind of a 144 ticks. I don't think that's probably going to matter much. And London is below us. That could matter. 40 ticks. Yeah, that's within kind of the range. It's also below this high, so you know, if we reach down in here, then maybe that's when we've turned around. So we'll see how it plays out here. We're still building up some tension over here in CL, ready to go somewhere. Where's it going to go? If this candle were to close below this orange box, that would be a 3-minute inversion. Doesn't seem like it wants to, though. Why do I get the feeling whenever this does close below, it's going to just rocket down and not give us a chance to participate? All right, so we got this one and then one more minute before the 3-minute closes. Whoa, look at that gap. Oof. All right, so we did close below. As soon as we closed below, we dropped. All right. So now the question is, how confident are we in our bearish bias? The only thing that makes me nervous is this 1 minute fair value gap has held. It held here, so where would my risk be? Here. 5 points of risk-ish. Whoa. Well, alrighty then. Yeah, it's just sideways. Wait till the open. Maybe the open will do something for us. I mean, this right here was the really, really clear play, right? This first one. In fact, I wonder if the 30-second maybe even provided a better entry. Yeah, similar. Actually, I guess, I don't know. Kind of had two fair value gaps. We had a tiny one here and then a bigger one here. So really the 1 minute was, I think, probably the best time frame. And it worked the cleanest, even though it would have been a small win. It was still worked out. Either take your profits there or at worst case, you got stopped out for break even. All right, well, that's just not doing anything. So let's go back over to oil. All right, so in oil, we did get an inversion of sorts. We had this high, we had this high. We swept those highs. Inverted on the way down. It held. Now we're holding below it. Super choppy. 15 minutes looks like we're getting fairly weak up here. 5 minutes just sideways. My problem here is I would really love to short this, but my lines don't agree, so I really shouldn't. It's 8:10, so we still have 5 minutes left in the open range formation. Been just riding this red line up. Sideways, hit it, bounced, hit it, bounced. Might be time for a break. was really hoping today I'd be able to test out some of my overnight open theories on oil, but doesn't look like that's going to be an opportunity we get. All right. See what other people are saying in the world. All right, there's the drop we were looking for. So this inversion would have worked pretty much perfectly. We closed below. It did not get violated. We did not have a close above. And then we dropped, took out this level, took out this level. Boom, 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 boom. This is yeah, we're probably going to hit these equal lows down here if I had to guess. So we came back below this previous high, right? So I definitely think there's the potential that we drop. But I don't know. This is kind of interesting to me because we've got our lines are coming together right at the midpoint of our open range. Right after we took this kind of big dump, which we've now inversed. So, this feels a little bit like we're in no man's land at the moment. I'd really love to see our lines cross and have us work our way back up and then roll over. A lot of boring right now. But we have 8 minutes until the open, so hopefully it gets a little more exciting. Oh, the lines are crossing. The lines are crossing. So you do have inside bars on the 5-minute chart. So if you're an inside bar trader, waiting for one of those to break. think oil just totally fell asleep. Maybe it took an early weekend. Goodness. All right, well, we broke the low of that inside bar. All right, it's the open. Let's switch over to NQ. So if we rock it up. Yeesh. All right, well, we're going up, aren't we? Oh man, I think this is going to be a slow grind day. Patient, a day that requires patience here. Should have just bought this in an eval account just to see if it just rockets up here. So in oil, this is why I don't really like these inside bars, because this happens all the time. I mean, they can work just fine, but um, in this case, you would have got ticked in just below, and then it just rips up. Which is why when I was trading these, if it did this, if it like ticked down and then immediately pulled back, I would get out of it. Now, the problem is that doesn't always mean it's going to rip up like this. And so then it ends up kicking, you end up missing out on the ones that are winners. So you have to be really mechanical with a trade like this and just say, I'm going to take every loss or I'm going to take every win. And you can't overmanage them. Otherwise, you end up getting out early when you could have actually made money. And then that just throws off your whole, your whole profit and loss, risk to reward, everything gets thrown off. So all right, so we came up to the midline. We're wrapping the midline to go up. So I like this for a long, really. It'd be better if our lines would cross, but we're definitely trending up, right? So I feel like that's the safer bet for sure. Man, look at that go. Look at that go. Oh, that's horrible. I really like that too. I was so tempted to get in, but it didn't. The lines weren't stacked right, which I don't know. I've seen the lines sometimes save you, sometimes they don't matter. So you definitely have to take them in context, because all they're doing is they're reflecting the price action that's already happened, right? So this line here, this gold line here, is really just reflecting the price action that happened over here when we pulled down. So it's like a delayed reaction. And then, of course, once we push up, it's going to pull up. So hopefully we get a false breakout, right? It would be nice if we just peaked above here, wound down slowly, and then we could take a trade off of that. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, but oil's been tricky, so remember, we do have news coming up in 5 minutes. Well, 6 minutes. Got some news at 9:45. And what was it? 9:45 and 10. So on here, that's listed as green, which is lower impact, but we'll see. Doesn't really matter. 15 minutes later, we have more impactful news. So and I've got to be careful because my funded accounts aren't doing so good. So I've got to be super choosy about my trades. I'm about to lose my other Apex PA account just to the trailing drawdown, which is driving me crazy. Got to learn how to manage that trailing drawdown better, because that's what knocks me out of these things more than anything else. All right, so this could be interesting. Let's see. We've got a test of the 1 minute gold line. It's a 12 tick candle, so that's a little bigger than I would like on that line. Ah, now we have a nice little candle. So this is better. So we're going to try this on the off chance that this is as far down as we come before we push back up. I really like this strong push up here. I like that we're in an uptrend. The only thing I'm not certain of is my target, because we're only 12 ticks from the open, top of the opening range, and we haven't pushed through it at all. So there's a possibility we push through it, then come back and one more time before it actually goes. Okay. Tight stop. Okay, that is not the reaction that we wanted. Got news coming up momentarily. Well, a minute away, I guess. Yeah, this is not the momentum we want off this, right? It should be momentum. We should strong push, a little bit of a pullback, and a strong push. That's what we want. It's not going anywhere. Oh man, there's a stop out. All right, so there's one loss. I can take one more. I kind of knew I should get out when it didn't just push up here, but half the time I say that, or when I do get out, then it ends up going my direction. So you never know, right? Okay, over on CL, or not CL, on NQ, we did close above this 15-minute gap. So we're definitely now back to being bullish. And what do we see though? We see nothing. I think we better wait for news. Oh. Should we try an eval trade on the news? See if we can pass an eval account. That was a strong pullback. Jeez. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Oh, that's not working. Trying to get Quantower to work with my Apex so I can have both Apex and my TopStep accounts kind of open at the same time. And it's pulled up. See my accounts there. It says I'm connected, but it's not showing me a chart. Oh, there it goes. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, I can't do that. That's not working. All right, I'm changing my. I got to change my connection here. So let's kill the. Where's my trade copier? We're gonna kill the trade copier for now. Come back to that guy later. Let's go here. Go to connections. Disconnect TopStep. And we're gonna connect Apex. Apex is taking a long time to connect. Maybe it's not a wasn't a Quantower issue. Maybe it's an Apex issue. There it goes. We're just gonna go all in. See if we get a close above here. I just feel like we've pushed up here. It may just be the news they're waiting for. The news comes out, and that's what pushes us back up to these highs. We got these equal highs right here, so we're probably going to get to at least there, I would think. That's 30 points away, and I only need 15. So let's see what happens here. Really prefer for this to get inverted, but I feel confident that it's going to be. I could be very wrong though. Come on, pop, pop. Pull back, pull back. Ay, ay. My only concern is if it's possible that it whips, right? And it could whip me out. It could blow the account before it goes in my direction. So, gotta wait. Come on, come on. Oh, so close. I'm just gonna get in. Should have bought at the bottom of that gap. That's what kind of original. Let's go, let's go. This rips back down. I'll bell on it, but I don't think we're going to. I'm gonna move my stop up here. In case it pops down. Won't blow my account. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 10 contracts. Watch it jump up there and sell out like one of them, one of the 10, because it just goes through it too fast. No, don't stop me out of break even. All right. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. This is for all the cookies. We're like halfway there. We're halfway there. Boom. Target filled. What? Boom. Hit. All right. Why? Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about. It was going to go through there so fast that. Although, why did it? That should have been like $10,000, not $3,000. I only needed it to go to here, and it went to there. I better make sure I don't have like. That's craziness. All right, well, I still need about $15, so let's wait for a trade. All right, here's my concern. Here is my concern. How does the trailing drawdown read that? That's what I want to know. Because that was a lot of movement. If I lost the account based on that, that would really be sad. So account balance 52,945. Auto liquidate threshold value is 53,000. 53. Okay. Okay. All right, so we need to make another $50 to get this account passed. Oh goodness, this is how not to trade, right? If you got paid for passing evaluation accounts, I would be doing pretty good, but unfortunately, that's not where you get paid. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, I got to take a break. So give me a second. I'll be back. Should we see if we can find a trade where I can get, what did I say I needed? $50? $55. $55. Was that 3 points? What just happened? What just happened? Why did I just lose on that? Oh, shoot. You know what? Oh, look. Threshold value is 53,000. So it blew that account. Oh my gosh. It doesn't show it. It still shows active. Oh my gosh. That is cruel. That is cruel. See what happened? It pushed up so fast that it moved the trailing stop followed that all the way up there because it didn't sell me out at my target. I didn't get filled at my target. Oh, that's so disappointing. So disappointing. That's sad. Oh well, is what it is. That's what I was worried about happening because it pumped so fast and didn't get me out of that thing that by the time it pushed up and ripped back so fast that my trailing drawdown just didn't have a chance because it didn't sell at my target. I didn't get filled at my target. So lesson learned, don't use limits and use your targets. Although shouldn't it fill? Hold on. It's a limit, so it should be that or better, right? So I don't know. I guess that's the risk following the news. Wish I had taken this in real account. Look at that. That was good. That was a $300 trade. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, that was sad. Very disappointing. All right. Well, while we're in Apex land right now, all right, so this will be kind of interesting. See if we take this high. Okay, in oil. So we never got to break out of the top of the range. We're breaking out of the bottom of the range, which also is these equal lows down here we were kind of eyeballing from earlier. So that's good. So I also feel like, you know, we've got a change in character here, right? We're expanding, and now we're failing down. So I think this would be a good opportunity if we get a pullback in here. I'm going to go ahead and get my trade copier set here. Let's see. So mad about that account. I said that at the beginning, though. My concern was we would not get filled because it would move too fast, and that's what happened. All right. But it's all because of that silly trailing drawdown. If you didn't have that trailing drawdown, you'd be fine. It's not like we lost any money. All right. All right, trade copier is set up. The leader is my new PA. My follower account is the other PA, and I'm going to trade the micros in the other account. All right, so we're in this guy. So we had a failed breakout of the open range, pull back to the 1 minute gold line. We want some momentum off of this, so if I don't, so I'm keeping a pretty tight stop because if it chops around, it's probably going to chop up to here before it drops if it does. So risking 7 ticks on this. Just to be on board in case it falls through. All right. Order canceled, order filled. What is that? Okay, so it's not ready yet. So we'll wait. That's okay. I'm curious to see if we get some kind of an inversion off of this, because we did take out this liquidity right here. Looks like the 2 minute is the only one that gives us what? That was weird. Kind of like oil doesn't want to go anywhere. It just wants to meander. So I kind of want to see how this plays out, because we did. Yeah. So we inverted our 2 minute, I think. Or did we not quite? Closed at the top of it. Didn't technically break it. So I guess that doesn't technically count. the 3-minute look like? We got 3-minute inversion. Let's see how this works. Entry there, first target there. Second target there. Yeah, there's first target. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess these inversions work other places too. All right, what time is it? 9:03, 9:22. Oh, goodness. Trading at highs is just tricky. And I'm still a little sour that my order didn't fill and I lost my account to trailing drawdown of all the silly things in the world. Wonder if this updated yet. It still hasn't updated to tell me it's like blown. Why not? Yeah, well, let me sell though. That is so strange. All right. This is tough. At this point, I don't even know what I'm waiting for. Back at all-time highs, which makes me nervous. right? Going short seems risky, counter trend trade, but going long also, you don't have real targets, so I have a hard time with that. So really just need kind of a pullback. We've got the open in the news. Hmm. Should have bought in here. So I feel like we swept a low, we pushed up, came down into the fair value gap. So I think I would be interested if we pulled back down into it. But okay, I'm gonna try this. Maybe kind of. I'm not super confident in this one. Nope. All right. Well, we are coming down. That's why I hate these. The tops of these all-time highs just I can't read them very well. So I have a hard time going counter trend, but that's why I kept a tight stop on that one too. So a very small loss, that's fine. Fortunately, this isn't a valid gold line trade, although we've talked about gold line trades not being as consistent on NQ, but we pivoted down, lower high, broke this pivot, so that would invalidate this going long from the gold line standpoint anyway. May still work, but this is the gap we would want to hold, I think, if we continue to move higher. If this fails, well then, we could be looking down here. What's everybody else doing? I don't even know. So ES set highs pulling back. NQ's pulling back stronger than ES though is. YM is barely pulling back. So NQ is weaker than the other two. At least right now it looks like that. So look what CL did. CL, we popped through the lows and then just rocketed up to the other side. There's just no opportunities for entry here. Other than this 3-minute fair value gap, which I guess if you saw this one, that would have worked. So this is interesting. So this is holding. So if this gets violated coming up, we could be looking for a long. Let's wait and see. I have way too many lines on this chart. Is this like just super messy or what? Got London lines. I got highs and lows and liquidities that we already took out. So actually, maybe I'll just delete this one because those don't really matter, right? I'll leave this one because this was the high that we just wrote. The other thing, though, is we're coming up on 950. My water glass is empty. Meanwhile, oil continues to just move up. So this is kind of interesting. I don't know if this is just a fluke or not, but look at oil. So yesterday when we hit the overnight open down here and then we just kind of ran up, was what, 9:30? 9:30 my time. If we look at today, when we took out this low and are now just ripping up, a lot stronger than yesterday, was what, 9:10? So in this 9 to 9:30 time frame, kind of interesting. Looks like the inside bar. So the first session here, this one would have failed. The second one would have won, and this one would have won. So would have been a winning day on the inside bar strategy. If that's what you're following. I'm going to get rid of this. I hate how Ninja Trader has this diagonal line going across here. That drives me crazy. I just want these lines. I don't want diagonal lines. So basically, I'm waiting for this to be violated up here. If this gets violated up here, then we'll probably take it to the highs. That gives us 21. We got 13 points-ish to the first target, 21 to the second target. So that's enough room. If not, if we reject this one, then probably look for another entry long at some point, I think is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take a break and go refill my water cup because my throat is getting very, very dry. So I'll be back in a second. Come on, let's go. This doesn't just push up through here, then not going to be as confident in it. I think we had all the excitement for the day. There we go. All right, this is good. Come on. See if we push up here and hold. Well, don't push all the way up here. Come on now. Jeez. All right, if we don't pull back, I can't take this. That's not. It's too big of a stop loss for me to get in at that open. 16 points to make. 14. Of course, this one is the one that's actually just going to keep going. Man. Tap that. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're going to try it there. Since it came back down to touch that, I feel like this is a little riskier, but definitely bullish for the day. Now, if this fails, then we're going to be wrong, right? If we fail this, I'll just get out. I'm not really liking where we're at right now. We're way too hesitant right here. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of that. I don't like it. It's probably gonna work, but not worth it. In fact, it almost definitely worked because I got out of it. Because I mean, really, a safe stop would be down here, and that's just too far for me. See, this doesn't work for me for an inversion short because we didn't take this level. If we'd have taken this level, right, if this had closed, just wicked up here just a little bit and then came down, I might have thought about it, but we shall see. Boy, trading today has just been rough. There's been some good opportunities, but they've been very quick. And if you didn't get them, then there was, no second entry opportunities anywhere really. And I'm still a little bitter about my account getting stopped out. Crazy. If their accounts, their evaluation accounts will automatically close a position because you hit your stop loss, right? Because your trailing drawdown hit. It'd be nice if it automatically closed you when you hit your target, right? I mean, why not? There's no reason to take an evaluation account past 53,000. So if you went past 53,000, obviously you got 53,000. Instead, for $75, they're going to say, no, sorry. Well, we're kind of holding. See, I would have been stopped out because I had my stop just below here. This is just too choppy. Okay, I'm going to try this again. It's a little late on the button. I like that we did close above here again. So let's see if it'll actually get up here this time. If it breaks up here, then we move to break even. So it's got kind of a, it's got a very, very tight stop, but see, if I'd have held this, boy, we would have hit our target by now, right? Our 15-point target. Come on. Don't. No. Whew. There we go. Come on. I'd like to move my target up, but I have no idea where to put it. It'd just be a guess, right? There we go. Come on. It's like, there we go. All right. So we're positive. $80 in that PA account after the losses. I mean, that's actually it's probably a little less than that. What was commissions? $64. And we're positive $5 in our others because we were taking micros in that account because it's so close to. I think my max liquidate threshold's at 48,934. My current balance is at 49,008. So what do I have? I've got $34, so 76 plus 8, like $80. So we're gonna be doing micros for a minute in that account. Okay. Okay, well, that was a winning trade. Let's cut it. Let's be done for now. I still need to come back. I think my TopStep accounts are negative slightly. So maybe this afternoon. Maybe this afternoon we'll get some opportunities for those. We'll wait and see. But I don't know. I'm still bitter about that. I wonder if Apex would just give it to me if I send him a note. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I'll send him a note anyway and just say, "Hey, rhythmic data screwed me up. How can you hit $53,000 in your trailing drawdown and not pass the account? That should just be an automatic pass." I don't know. Anyway, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you Monday.